The Constitution of the Fifth Republic is largely based on the principles set out by General de Gaulle during his famous speech in Bayeux on 6 June 1946. The accountability of the government to the parliament, made up of two chambers, with a stronger parliamentary system, and the accountability of the President of the Republic to the people. The government, appointed by the President of the Republic, the Prime Minister is the head of the government and directs the actions of the government and in principle sets out the essential political guidelines in which, except in the case cohabitation are of the President of the Republic. He must also ensure the coordination of government action and prevent different ministers from taking contradictory initiatives through his arbitration. He is not the hierarchical superior of the other ministers. He may never force them to take a decision which they are unwilling to take responsibility for, but he may suggest their dismissal to the President in the event of serious misconduct. The general policy statement is a tradition in the Fifth Republic but is not an obligation laid down by the Constitution. Article 49, paragraph 1 stipulates that the Prime Minister can commit the government by means of a vote of approval by members of Parliament on its program or, potentially on a general policy statement. The Prime Minister uses this speech to imprint a style and adopt the role of head of the parliamentary majority. Title V of the Constitution of the 4th of October 1958 covers relations between the Parliament and the government. Article 34 to 51(2). France has the world's sixth largest economy by nominal figures and the ninth largest economy by PPP figures. It has the third largest economy in Europe with Germany and the UK in first and second. The OECD is headquartered in Paris. Type of economy: the French economy is made up of both privatized and government-run sectors. France has a mixed economic system. It is considered to be very diverse. The government has privatized many large companies, such as Air France and France Telecom. However, the government kept its strong presence in the public transportation and defense industry. Another contributor to the French economy is its tourism. France is the most visited country in the world and receives 82 million tourists per year. It has the third largest income in the world from tourism. The French economy is based on the capitalism structure and leaders who work to uphold social equality by using the law. Major industries: the leading industrial sectors in France are telecommunications, including communication satellites, aerospace and defense, shipbuilding, naval and specialist ships, pharmaceuticals, construction and civil engineering, chemicals, textiles, and automobile production. Research and development spending is also high in France at 2.26% of GDP, the fourth highest in the OECD. The chemical industry is a key sector for France, helping to develop other manufacturing activities and contributing to economic growth. France's tourism industry is a major component of the economy, as France is the most visited destination in the world.
The military history of France encompasses an immense panorama of conflicts and struggles extending for more than 2,000 years across areas including modern France, Greater Europe, and French territorial possessions overseas. According to the British historian Niall Ferguson, France has participated in 50 of the 125 major European wars fought since 1495. And in 168 battles fought since 387 BC, they have won 109, drawn 10 and lost 49. This makes France the most successful military power in European history in terms of number of fought and won. The French armed forces encompass the French Army, the French Navy, the French Air Force, and the National Gendarmerie of France. The President of the Republic heads the armed forces. With the title Chef des Armées, the President is the supreme authority for military matters and is the sole official who can order a nuclear strike. According to SIPRI, as of 2014, France maintains the fifth largest defense budget in the world and the largest army in size in the EU. France also maintains the third largest nuclear deterrent behind only Russia and the United States. There are currently 36,000 French troops deployed in foreign territories. Such operations are known as OPEX for Operations Extérieures among other countries. France provides troops for the United Nations force stationed in Haiti following the 2004 Haiti rebellion. France has sent troops, especially special forces, into Afghanistan to help the United States and NATO forces fight the remains of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. The reserve element of the French armed forces consists of two structures: the Operational Reserve and the Citizens Reserve. As of 2015, the strength of the Operational Reserve is 27,785 personnel. 1. Apart from the three main service branches, the French armed forces also includes a fourth paramilitary branch called the National Gendarmerie. It had a reported strength of 98,155 personnel in 2011. They are used in everyday law enforcement, and also form a Coast Guard formation under the command of the French Navy. There are, however, some elements of the Gendarmerie that participate in French external operations, providing specialized law enforcement and supporting roles. France is a country where freedom of religion and freedom of thought are guaranteed by virtue of the 1789 Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen. The 1905 French law on the separation of the churches and the state. Roman Catholicism, the religion of a majority of French people, is no longer the state religion. Major religions practiced in France include Catholic Christianity, Islam, Judaism, various branches of Protestantism, Hinduism, Russian Orthodoxy, Armenian Christianity, and Sikhism amongst others, making it a multi-confessional country. However, Catholicism is the primary religion in France. France guarantees freedom of religion as a constitutional right, and the government generally respects this right in practice. Even though France is a home to about 7 million Muslims, the European Muslims face a great deal of fear. They usually suffer unemployment. A comparative study in 2016 showed a significant deterioration of Muslims or of the image of Islam after the 2015 terrorist attacks. French is the dominant language of the country's 66 million residents, but there are a number of variants based on region. French, the official language, is the first language of 88% of the population. According to the BBC, French is the second most widely learned foreign language in the world, with almost 120 million students, according to the French Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Development. Paris is known as the home to many high-end fashion houses, such as Dior, Hermès, Louis Vuitton and Chanel. Many French people dress in a sophisticated, professional and fashionable style, but it is not overly fussy. Typical outfits include nice dresses, suits, long coats, scarves and berets. Art is everywhere in France, particularly in Paris and other major cities, and Gothic, Romanesque, Rococo and neoclassic influences can be seen in many churches and other public buildings.
France is located in the occidental ends of Europe. France is the largest country by size in Europe at 248,573 m to 643,801 km2, and that figure includes the islands of French Guiana, Guadeloupe, Martinique, Mayotte, and Réunion Island. France's total land area is 547,557 square kilometers, or 211,412 square miles. This is 513,887 square kilometers larger than the median-sized country in Western Europe, 33,670 square kilometers, and 450,664 square kilometers larger than median-sized country worldwide, 96,893 square kilometers. France is a landlocked country. Although diverse, the natural resources of France are relatively limited in quantity. Protected areas are designated by national authorities as scientific reserves. As of 2014, 25.73% of France's territorial area is protected. This is 2.6% lower than the median protected area in Western Europe, 28.4%, and 18.8% higher than the median protected area worldwide, 6.9%. The efforts are focused on aquatic areas, with 62.90% of the territorial waters protected and 25.33% of the total land area protected. France was a founding member of the United Nations when it was established in 1945. It is among one of the 5 permanent nations in the Security Council. In this capacity, it plays a driving role on a number of subjects. It is also represented both in the other main United Nations bodies and subsidiary bodies, and has been elected to the Human Rights Council. Furthermore, it is a permanent member of the Conference on Disarmament within the United Nations. 1. United Nations voting bloc's Western European and others group like European Community. 2. Participation at the United Nations. French Republic has been active in all matters and situations since its membership with the UN. Some of them are as follows. Reforms of the UN. B. Human rights. C. The environment and climate disruption. D. Official Development Association.
Keep it on the level, I'm climbing up the The French healthcare system is one of universal healthcare largely financed by government national health insurance. In its 2000 assessment of world healthcare systems, the World Health Organization found that France provided the close to best overall healthcare in the world won in 2011. France spent 11.6% of GDP on healthcare, or $4,086 per capita, figure much higher than the average spent by countries in Europe but less than in the US. Approximately 77% of health expenditures are covered by government-funded agencies. Most general physicians are in private practice but draw their income from the public insurance funds. These funds, unlike their German counterparts, have never gained self-management responsibility. Instead, the government has taken responsibility for the financial and operational management of health insurance by setting premium levels related to income and determining the prices of goods and services refunded. The French government generally refunds patients 70% of most health care costs, and 100% in case of costly or long-term ailments. Supplemental coverage may be bought from private insurers, most of them non-profit, mutual insurers. Until 2000, coverage was restricted to those who contributed to Social Security generally, workers or retirees. The French educational system is highly centralized and organized. With many subdivisions, it is divided into the 3 stages of enseignement primaire, primary education, enseignement secondaire, secondary education, and enseignement supérieur, higher education in French, higher education. The following degrees are recognized by the Bologna process: EU recognition, licence and licence professionnelle, bachelor's degrees, and the comparably named master and doctorate degrees.